Well, the finale of preseason is done. We go into the regular season. We start scheming. We start doing our normal stuff. This is where everything starts to really come together now. This weekend, when we start cutting players down, start trimming this roster down from 90 to 53 by the 29th, I think is Monday or Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern is where the rosters have to be set and done. Tough decisions are going to have to be made. And a couple things I definitely want to go over here regarding the wide receiver position, kind of in connection to special teams. And I kind of want to go into the Jonathan Taylor stuff, updated on what's really going on with that. So let's get straight into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Well, I hope everyone's enjoying their Friday and the start of the weekend where the Eagles are going to be cutting this roster down for roster cuts. Obviously, in the beginning of the roster cuts, this specific names that we know that aren't going to be here will be the easy ones they're going to cut. And as of the days at the end of the weekend into the beginning of the week, of the work week, it will get tougher and tougher every single day. Now, I want to go over, obviously, special teams and the wide receiver position because this is really interesting, okay? Now, we saw what Devin Allen did on kick returns. He finally got his shot, okay? It's been 7 to 8 years since he has fielded a kick return, okay? That's how long it's been. Now, I don't know. Here's what I don't get, okay? Did he do this during training camp? Did he field a kick return during training camp? That's what it sounds like right now, that this was his first time fielding a kick return, which is just, wow, holy crap. So Michael Clay must have woke up a little bit and said, we got to put Devin Allen's been here for a year already. We got to see what he could do, right? I mean, I would have had him on special teams from OTAs that early and punt return since Britton Covey is hurt right now. And it's just so weird. Britton Covey is just still hurt at this point. Like, how bad is this hamstring injury? Like, that's what can't get over it sometimes. So then I look at other, people, because obviously some of these wide receivers do double duty, whether it's a wide receiver and they're playing, obviously, they're being a specific, return specialist. Now, with Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins, Oz as your fourth, Britton Covey as your fifth, and I feel like as of right now, they're going to be adding a sixth receiver. I think they're going to carry six guys. Realistically, I think that's what they'll carry. Who is going to be your sixth receiver or fifth? Because obviously he's, Britton Covey is already going to be here at this point. Okay, I think obviously you got to think about Greg Ward. And yeah, this is the obvious answer. Greg Ward should make this roster. He's been one of the most productive receivers this offseason. Tyree Cleveland, I think, has done as good as Greg Ward or as better than him. Tyree Cleveland, I think, is obviously, he's hurt right now. He'll be on IR. He'll come back to the Eagles on IR. They have to really keep him because I feel like they need to, he's a little bit of not a project, but there is some good things going on with Tyree Cleveland that they need to keep him on this team for next year as well, to see what type of more talent he can really unveil on himself to the league and to us to be on this team. You're already wasting one roster spot on Britton Covey. That's a return specialist and nothing more than that. And I can't stand that because he doesn't do double duty, which kind of sucks. Okay. Greg Ward, on the other hand, would be the obvious choice to be on the active roster with the Eagles, right? As the oldest receiver in this wide receiver core. The problem I'm having right now is I think there is a good shot, and it might sound stupid, but there actually might be a good shot here that Devin Allen might be that other spot. Yes, Britton Covey and Devin Allen that do not even have a chance to be a wide receiver in the league or anything capable at all, they're going to put two roster spots on two guys that play special teams only, return specialists only. Now, you have to think about this yourself. What is more important right now? Is signing Greg Ward as a depth piece more important, or is your special teams more important right now? This is where I'm kind of stuck in the middle a little bit. I'm like in the middle say this side is special teams, this side is the wide receiver core as being a wide receiver, why this player is here. I am literally just a tad bit off the middle line towards special teams for a lot of reasons. Because, like I said, I think Britton Covey obviously got better in the second half of the season last year. But Devin Allen, there's something there, and I know it's like you're gonna, oh well, Joe, you're gonna base this off of 174-yard kick return and make a big deal out of it. I'm really not, but the guy muffed the punt, ran to the left, broke a tackle, then went to the right, and then the defense started really taking angles on him downfield. They couldn't even catch him. I think there is something there with Devin Allen, and if it was up to me right now, as much as, Joseph Nagata is going to be on practice squad. Jaden Hazelwood's going to be on practice squad, okay? There's really nothing there. Joseph Nagata, they paid a lot of money to as an undrafted free agent. He just can't get separation. They threw his way a million times the other night. Didn't do much of anything. Jaden Hazelwood has done absolutely nothing. Charleston Rambo left with injury pretty much the start of training camp, not even a week into training camp or even like a couple days into Eagles training camp. Or a week, something like that, whatever it was. And I don't want to put Greg Ward on practice squad. The problem I have right now is that ever since Nick has gotten here, because Doug really valued Greg Ward a ton, Greg Ward can get separation. Greg Ward can play inside receiver, outside, so he's perfect, and he's our oldest receiver right now, which really shows. Actually, no, that's not even true, because obviously Devin Allen is probably, I'd say Devin Allen and Greg Ward are probably the oldest receivers we have, because Devin Allen's, 27, 28? I don't even know. I think he's 27 or 28 years old. You have to think of the possibility. Yeah, you're going to say, oh, Greg Ward, because we need receiver depth, or we need, if someone gets hurt, what's going to happen? I think that's what the Eagles have been trying to do, but they've been trying to find, they've literally been trying to find that, backup to A.J. Brown. They've been signing bigger receivers, or receivers that have played with Jalen Hurts, or guys that have had, you know what I mean? Like, they've signed a bunch of different guys. But to me, it's like, I think Greg Ward's going to be a waste of a roster spot because, number one, he's never going to play. Okay, yeah, injuries can occur. I 100% get it. And yes, if they have to bring someone up from the practice squad for another game, or if Greg Ward has to come up to the active roster, then you put him there. But my problem right now is, I would like Greg Ward as a depth piece for the Eagles. And yes, it's very tough to say you're going to put two return specialists as your wide receivers that barely get to play wide receiver whatsoever. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know what happened last night in that game with Devin Allen, but he was positive every time he got that ball in his hands. And he doesn't hesitate when he gets the ball in his hands as a return specialist. Britton Covey is still out right now. Okay, that's a major issue. Okay, still out. And we need to figure this out because this is going to be a problem down the road. I don't want Boston Scott and Quez Watkins as our kick returners. I'm not into it. I'm not interested in it. I just don't care at the moment what they do right there. It's not going to be good. It's not going to look good. I'm just not a fan of it whatsoever when it comes down to keeping a guy just because, it's just a depth piece for a wide receiver. Where is Greg Ward going to contribute to this team? He's really not going to contribute too much because he's not going to play. At least if I know Devin Allen is on this team or on the active roster, I could say, okay, he's going to get some playing time. There's no doubt. He's going to get a ton of playing time. So I have to be realistic with it. But, that's just the name of the game when it comes to the active roster. I don't know. Greg Ward, is going to be a time where Greg Ward, or maybe there is a trade rumor for Greg Ward or something like that. Maybe he will get traded somewhere. Maybe they'll try to do something with him because he has value. The value is there. He's producing in training camp. He's catching a crap ton of catches. Really, him and Tyree Cleveland have been the most productive. Deion Kane had a pretty good night last night, but it's not going to be enough to make the roster. And he was hurt for a long time as well, so there's a lot to take away from it. So when it comes to Devin Allen, I feel like you're going to have to waste 2 roster spots because of 2 specialists. Aaron Sipos was pretty damn bad too tonight. And I feel like the only reason why they're keeping him right now is because he's a placeholder for Jake Elliott's kicks, and Jake Elliott is comfortable with him because really, remember when Legatron was holding the kicks and he missed a couple kicks in preseason? Just from holding the ball, it sounds stupid, but Aaron Sipos kicked a 20-yard kick today. Look at the value you're getting out of Devin Allen more than Greg Ward. He's a return specialist, and that can produce a lot, and he's on kickoff. Did you see that, like I said, the 20-yard punt by Sipos? You see Devin Allen literally race everyone downfield, and he was the first one to get there to the returner, and his tackling isn't that bad. You know what I mean? So I feel like, he's fast. I feel like he could do a lot for kick return for us. I just wish they had an answer here, because what's more important now? Is it depth at wide receiver, or is it actual special teams? That's the decision they're going to have to make going forward. And yeah, I know it's not everybody's favorite thing, but they definitely have to figure it out. There's no doubt about it that this whole thing has got to get done, and they need to figure the situation, because it's getting more serious, because our special teams are in literal trouble. I mean, it's in trouble. It's not good. It's not looking great. It's not looking good at all. So that's all I got to say about that. You let me know what you guys think would you rather have. I understand people are going to say Greg Ward immediately because he's a wide receiver, and that's what he's here to do. But Greg Ward is not a punt returner, and they've already tried that before. They tried it in the last preseason game, before the last preseason game we just had. Okay, we've been down that road with Greg Ward returning punts. We've been down that road where they've been shuffling Quez Watkins in there. They've been shuffling Justin Evans on punt return. I mean, Justin Evans, come on now. I mean, they're literally throwing anybody in there. If this was me last night and I was giving Devin Allen this huge chance, I'd be putting him on punt returns as well. Why not? Screw him being a wide receiver. If he needs to come in for a couple plays, or you want to give him a shot at a couple plays, and perfectly fine. I have no issue with it, but what's the value that we need right now? It's special teams. It's not wide receiver. The Eagles brought in a bunch of receivers, and unfortunately, the most productive one that we have is hurt, is going to be on IR, and Tyree Cleveland, because I thought he was a monster. So, but Greg Ward, Nick has just not valued him. It's true. Give me a time where Nick valued Greg Ward in this offense, because I don't remember since Doug was here. That's how much he valued Greg Ward. So that's all I really got to say about that going forward. It's going to be, if they keep 6 receivers, there's a big possibility they keep Devin Allen just to be as a return specialist. And honestly, guys, if he hasn't touched the ball 7 to 8 years, he picks up a touch the ball, did a kick return rep in 7 to 8 years. He didn't do a kick return rep this whole entire training camp at all, or a punt return rep. He did none of that. I don't even think he did. That means they didn't even put him there. Why was he even signed? He's not a legit wide receiver. He could maybe make some plays behind this offensive line, or a screen pass, or they did a reverse with him, the other night, and he slipped, so because the field wasn't doing pretty good. It wasn't really doing well. Just a lot here with that, man. It's nuts. So I just want to get your take on that. What do you think's more valuable here? I want to get into the nitty-gritty with Sidney Brown as well, because I think this was really interesting too going forward. Is the safety spot safe right now? Because what I saw in that game last night, Sidney Brown got reps last night, and I was like, why? Why isn't he sitting, and why isn't someone else not playing? So theoretically, they keep 4 guys. I know Terrell Edmonds played last night. Kavon Wallace played last night. Pretty much all the safeties played last night. So if I'm keeping, 4 safeties, I'm going to guess it's going to be Reed Blankenship has already been a lock here. Sidney Brown, you're going to have, obviously, you're going to have 2 more guys. And I feel like, as of right now, you're going to keep Edmonds, and you're going to keep Kavon Wallace on top of Blankenship and Sidney Brown. So when Sidney Brown goes into the game last night and he goes to the game last night and he gets reps, it just confused me a little bit. They're still flip-flopping these guys around. I know Sidney Brown is playing out of his mind. I know Sidney Brown is playing very, very well. But I was just confused on why he was playing. Are they still trying to figure this position out? Is there a trade for Jeremy Chin? You know what I mean? These are things we need to kind of look at here. Are they in the market for a safety? Remember the rumors from a few weeks ago, guys, that the Eagles and Howie Roseman, they're looking for a significant similar trade like they did for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, because they signed Chauncey very late last year. Okay, there could be a trade. I could see 2 trades happening by the season starting. You know what I mean? You could trade for anybody at this point. I mean, the trade deadline's it doesn't end until week 9 of the regular season. So there's plenty of time for this. And Howie likes to wheel and deal at these times. But with Sidney Brown being in that game and Kevon Wallace and everybody was playing, it's a problem. It's a big problem. The Eagles could have, instead of signing those 2 linebackers and those 3-4 defensive tackles they signed a couple days ago, they could have signed a whole bunch of safeties that were just out there right now, getting their chance just to play in the game and fill the body up with just fill these games up with bodies for the starters to rest. So if Sidney Brown was a significant starter, because I didn't see Reed Blankenship, I don't even think he played. If Sidney Brown is is a realistic starter for here, you would have sat him out this game, and he got reps. I don't care if it was second quarter, second half. I think it was just the fourth quarter, I think, when I remember. So I think that's pretty interesting. Like, still flip-flopping guys around. Competition's not over yet, apparently. I thought they were pretty much set at safety. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're trying to make a trade, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. It really wouldn't. So I think that's really interesting going forward with Sidney Brown and the safety group in general. And then lastly, we go through the Jonathan Taylor stuff. I mean, the Jonathan Taylor stuff is crazy. Like, now Miami's connected to him. There's rumors, I'm not an insider, I have reliable contact. His former Dolphins medical staff went to the Colts and did a physical on him, or, stupid crap like that. And there was other news where, they're asking for a first-round pick for Jonathan Taylor that literally only played 5 games last year. They don't want to pay him, but they want to give him up for a big price, which is a first-round pick. They are not getting that whatsoever. Okay. Another NFL team also believed to have made a serious offer, but we don't know who it is, though. Did the Eagles call the Colts or speak to the Colts while they're at joint practice or whatever happened behind the scenes? Do I think that Howie Roseman did call? He always does. That's not the question. There's no question that Howie Roseman called or not, because I think he did 100%. But if I heard the Eagles want to give up some mid-round picks. I don't know. He's not worth a first-round pick to me. With the room that we have right now, I get it. Howie Roseman wants to upgrade every single time, and I totally get it. Like I said, get it. But when Rashad Penny was available, we grabbed him. When DeAndre Swift was available for trade, we traded for him for a 25 fourth-round pick, which is for free. Your whole entire running back core, cap hit wise or whatever it is, it's like $6 million, or what you're paying. I mean, it's dirt cheap. No running back core in the league has something like this. Okay, so I honestly don't know what's going to happen here with this. I don't even care what happens with it. I think we're fine at running back. I'm so excited about DeAndre Swift. And Penny, and at the same time, Rashad Penny, he didn't play. If Rashad Penny was resting and Trey Sermon was getting all the reps, that they're set right now. They're keeping 4 running backs. They're keeping it there. They're not adding a 5th. That's just the truth. So I could literally put on the screen right now as you're looking at this report, I could put another 10, 15 reports up right now of what's being said and who's going to trade and who's of it. You know what I mean? I mean, the Eagles, every time the Eagles are not mentioned in an article, it usually is a good thing, because then either we're not making the move or we're staying put, or I don't know. But there's got to be some type of reevaluation on if the Eagles are actually trying to trade for Jonathan Taylor right now. The Eagles are in no need for a running back like that. Then I see reports of he's willing to take less money for the year, blah, blah. He's not getting $16 million a year. I give these running backs respect for trying to get their money and show the league that the running back position is still it can still be a heavily invested position. And I totally get all that, but it's too late now. Like, it's not. Like, you have you got no shelf life. You know what I mean? The more hits you take, your career is going to end as a running back so damn fast. That's just the way it is. Jonathan Taylor is not going to fix our problems. I think we're fine at running back. If you're talking about a position that I'm very comfortable and very satisfied with, it's definitely running back. Between Gainwell, Scott, DeAndre Swift. You know what I mean? A lot going on here. And I hope you guys know that there's plenty to go around. Plenty to go around. I don't think running back is the main issue here. It's not. Special teams, and I could say, like, I feel safety, I guess, from how they're looking at it, a big weakness, maybe. That's all I got to say about the Jonathan Taylor stuff. There's so much stuff I could put on the screen right now. I'm just not going to waste my breath because it means absolutely nothing. Doesn't. So he wants to get paid, then he doesn't want to get paid, then he'll go for a cheaper deal. But why don't the Colts want to sign him? I understand he played 5 games. I understand he had an injury. I get it. It wasn't a knee or an ACL, I don't think, which definitely helps his case in a lot of ways. But I'm just not into it. I'm not into it. I'm not giving, even if we were going to give them a second-round pick and it was for a multi-year extension, I still wouldn't do it. I'm not giving up a second-round pick save that second-round pick from when you really need it next year in the draft. There's plenty of things. So that's all I really got to talk about when it comes to the running back position, special teams, Devin Allen, Greg Ward. Are they keeping 5, 6 receivers? What are you picking between the two when it comes to value? Not just, I know Greg Ward because he's just a better player. Yeah, he might be the better player, but is he the bigger need? Okay, you draft best player available at the draft. You go into training camp, okay, and you pick the players of need that you need to make this roster when the cuts start to go down this weekend. That's what's going to be really important going forward. So if you last this long in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well. Just wanted to kind of get this off my chest because it's tiresome sometimes. But let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Shakes, what up, follow, peace out, guys. Peace.